Welcome to the Cobra Den MMA Podcast.
Cobra Den episode 6. Lyle, what's 6 in Spanish?
Sank.
Sank? I think that's French, but whatever.
I don't know. I don't know any other languages.
Alrighty. PJ St. Marie here, the lovely, the ring girl PJ St. Marie. We got Grant Weber. Grant, say hi. Hi, Mom. And
Dad.
Lyle Xbox Travis. That's your nickname for today.
It's my turn with the Xbox.
Alrighty. Very fun episode. We're going to have UFC 158. Let's see how many times we can impersonate George St-Pierre. Ding. That's one. We'll go ding every time we impersonate George St-Pierre. You welcome to my dark place, Nick Diaz. Ding. And we'll talk about Fallon Fox, the he-she fighter.
Transgender fighter.
It's an interesting topic for sure. And then some MFC talk. And we'll go from there. But that's the start. Jump right into the warm water. Right? Is that the saying? Jump into the deep end. George St-Pierre taking on Nick Diaz for the welterweight championship.
Finally,
yes. This fight was supposed to happen well over a year ago. Nick Diaz got pulled from the card for missing a press conference.
I like how the UFC is spinning it though. When you ever watch the things, you always see that it's because George just got injured. The fight didn't happen. It's like wait, what happened to the whole conference thing?
We're forgetting something.
Yeah. Oh.
Nick Diaz has been kind of a flake of late. I was surprised he didn't get pulled from this card, but he also flaked on a super fight in grappling against Brulia Estima, which he would have got just rolled completely. He just would have got dominated. And so I'll be surprised if he shows up tonight. Saturday night.
Oh, he'll show up. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? The Stockton bad boy is going to come in there, and he's going to friggin' lay the surprise of a lifetime down for all y'all.
Yeah.
Don't be no bitch.
Yeah.
You know what? Wait, what was which jiu-jitsu match? When was this?
It was in the summertime.
Oh, like the one that was last summer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you actually do any research as to why he no-showed?
There's been shenanigans, but ultimately he knew he had a fight and he didn't show. It doesn't matter what said.
But he had a contract to fight there in a jiu-jitsu tournament, and the organization went against the contract, so he said, no, I'm not going to fight.
He backed out.
I am not impressed.
He was going to lose.
Probably, but that's...
All right, well, that's not the point of it, but Nick Diaz is an incredible BJJ I wouldn't say BJJ expert. He's never really proved it outside of the octagon, but he is definitely dangerous. Like, the way he submitted Evelyn Joe's Cyborg Santos as soon as Nick Diaz was on his back was really incredible. BJ Penn had his back. Nick remained calm, looked fine, and Carlos looked scared when Nick Diaz got his back. You know, he's very skilled on the ground, but yet he never uses it. He never wants to use it.
Yeah, and I think it goes back into his interviews talking about things. He's really got the wrong, jaded view of MMA as a sport because of the judges tossing some wonky victories to other opponents. But you always hear him in interviews. He doesn't want to use his jiu-jitsu. He doesn't want to go to the ground because every time he does, he's scared that just because he's on the ground now, he's lost that fight, even if he is outworking the opponent. And it's a silly point of view to take, but I mean,
that's not.
You look at it, you watch his fights. I mean, he's not far off the mark.
Yeah, you're not. I also forgot to mention the amazing submission against Takanori Gomi. I couldn't forget that, but his he gets a lot of credit for this boxing, and I don't think his boxing is good as how good his footwork is. He's very good at cornering people, and he showed that against Carlos Condit. Him and his brother Nate have this slap boxing sort of type of style, but it's definitely their footwork and their ability to get first. They're always hitting first, and
aggression and accuracy.
Their lankiness. And this is going to, he's amazing at this aspect of the game, but it's he's taking on George St-Pierre, where George St-Pierre is going to be better in this aspect. He's working with one of the best boxing coaches in the world, Freddie Roach. George St-Pierre has everything at his disposal that, Nick Diaz being better at footwork isn't going to beat George St-Pierre, and George St-Pierre's size is going to be, you're going to look at him and go, holy crap, George St-Pierre is twice the size of Nick Diaz when they step in the ring. Nick Diaz can make lightweight, and he said it recently.
No, he said it recently. I don't know if he can actually make lightweight.
Yeah.
He said he was just saying that he wants to fight anyone for any belt.
He made lightweight like for Elite XC, so I think.
Well, that's what makes him fun to watch too. He would fight anyone. He'd fucking fight Brock Lesnar if you asked him to.
Yeah,
you know?
He said he would go up and fight Anderson, but
yeah, and that's like crazy in most people's eyes, right? But Nick would do it. He'd be like in a heartbeat, and that's what makes him so fun to watch. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this fight just based on that alone. I'm excited to see any Nick Diaz fight based on that alone. He goes in there for war.
I do like him fighting, but I think he would be the first ever UFC champion to win that was mentally retarded. I just have to I can't listen to him in interviews, and that conference call was probably the worst 45 minutes of my life.
Really?
Well, yeah, I was like, Nick, spit it out. We can.
I thought I fully understood everything he was trying to say in the conference call personally, and I thought George's was the dick in it.
No, yeah, George. Well, because George is mad. You know?
Well, he's like
he's in a very dark place.
And you know what? It's kind of, I don't mind seeing George like this, because it seemed like before with George St-Pierre, it was kind of like what was that game when you were a kid and you just write in the sentences and then read the sentence and change the word?
Like Mad Libs?
Mad Libs, yeah. It seems like every George St-Pierre fight is a Mad Libs.
Yeah, for sure.
Blank is my toughest opponent to date. I am in the best shape I have ever been.
Yeah. I feel 100%.
I'm sorry for not getting the finish. I will try very hard next time. Don't blink.
That's pretty much it,
Ding.
too. Yeah. It's like a few more like one-liners, but other than that, he nailed it.
So. And, you know, he is saying stuff different, and I get a little ragged on for George St. Pierre's dark place, wherever that may be.
Dark place.
I hear, you know, from a friend that he does have a dark place, sexually.
Well, I hear from, some friends that even like a few years back, that if you ever wanted to find George St. Pierre in Montreal, you just started hitting the strip clubs and you'd be at one.
Oh, like, I can imagine that he'd be very good with the ladies. If you don't watch MMA, you know who George St. Pierre is, and you know that he's attractive. Well, you're not saying that, but
I am.
Anyway, so from someone who trained with him at Gamma back in the day when George was a white belt, he said he was just a sex freak. All right, that's George's dark place.
That's George's
place.
dark
So
place.
Nick Diaz better not go there.
I really hope that he doesn't take Nick Diaz to his dark place.
I hope this doesn't have to get weird.
So that's looked like, you know, George St. Pierre coming out of one of the best camps in the world, coming into TriStar. Firas Zahabi, you know, he doesn't get as much credit as Firas Zahabi maybe deserves. I was talking to a guy named Greg Compton, used to be a pro MMA fighter, fought Stefan Vignette, who fought Ivan Menjivar, who trained Ivan Menjivar. Greg Compton said he's never been beat up so bad in his life than when he sparred Firas Zahabi. Firas Zahabi, a pro Muay Thai champ, or an amateur Muay Thai champ. You know, and they have one of the best jiu-jitsu guys there. The who's who in grappling in Canada goes to TriStar. And then what does Nick Diaz has? He has Cesar Gracie, Jake Shields, who, is a good grappler, but what has Jake Shields done recently? He beat Ed Herman and then pissed hot. His brother Nate, who we clearly saw is a very good fighter, but isn't championship material. And Gilbert Melendez, who's yet to make his kind of star in the big show.
What's his face? The boxing coach. He didn't.
You can't just say what's his face. You gotta give me his name.
It's slipping my memory right now. The little Hispanic guy.
Oh shit.
Caesar.
No.
Santos.
No, I forgot. I guess I should look that up. No. Oh.
Anyways, we'll Google it. But I'm just saying that George St. Pierre's camp's significantly better than Nick Diaz's. And Nick can run all the marathons he wants. It's been proven that that's not going to help you in the ring. And Nick Diaz never looks to get tired, but he's never fighting.
Neither does George. I think this is one of those fights where like his superior cardio and conditioning will not play a factor. The champion is like set the bar for conditioning, not only in like welterweight, but pretty much every weight class there is. Like, I mean, you've got your cardio stars like Cain Velasquez and Nick Diaz, but Georges St-Pierre is definitely one of those guys that like just does not seem to run out of steam.
Yeah,
I mean, how many 25-minute fights has he had? Like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And you know what? A big factor in this fight could be that Nick Diaz hasn't stepped in the ring since February of last year, and had a 25-minute fight against Carlos Condit, coming in on the loss there, and I kind of really thought he won that fight, but at the same time, I felt like nobody won that fight. Felt like
what fight?
The Carlos Condit versus Nick Diaz.
Oh, okay. I thought you
like
said Condit versus GSP. I was like, you're fucking crazy.
No, that was a good fight. But I feel like the only person who lost that fight, Nick Diaz versus Carlos Condit, was us watching it.
Yeah, it wasn't the most exciting, but fucking said it before. Say it again. Styles make fights.
Yeah. And this fight can be. My prediction for this fight is that George St-Pierre's jab's going to win him this fight. He's going to be able to get in first. He's going to be explosive enough to hit Nick first, and Nick's not going to be able to set with that slap boxing, use his footwork, and George St-Pierre is going to keep it away from the ground because Nick is dangerous on his back. Although, like, I hear George St-Pierre's, just on another level when it comes to wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and then we've never yet to not see it. You
don't really get to see it displayed that often.
Mm-hmm.
No. Definitely.
I told you guys this story, but I'll drop it here. A guy I train with in Belleville, I forget his name's slipping me right now, but he comes in and out because he doesn't really care too much about MMA. He's going to Guelph University for wrestling, could potentially go to the Olympics in 2016 before they take it out. But so he was at a Canadian qualifier for wrestling, and George St-Pierre, just coming off his ACL surgery, getting ready for his Carlos Condit fight, shows up and destroys everyone, doesn't get one single point scored, and that would have qualified him for the Olympics for Canada's team.
Wow.
Yeah, but because he's a professional athlete,
he's not allowed to go.
Yeah.
And but that's George coming off an ACL surgery and like Canada's best wrestlers, which isn't saying much. But it's not America's best wrestlers. Canada's best wrestlers are extremely talented wrestlers, but still can't even get a point on George St-Pierre.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
So if he's on top of you, it's going to be hard for you to get an armbar. I'm sure he's seen armbars before. I'm sure he's seen submissions before. I'm gotta give it to George St-Pierre, no question about it.
Yeah, and another point is I think Nick Diaz used to have a bit of mystique around his fighting style. Like, I think it used to be a bit of a riddle to people. They'd watch his fights and be like, oh shit, he got hit there, and oh, he almost got finished. Oh, that guy came close, but they didn't realize why he wasn't getting finished or things like that, and now they, everybody started to realize, oh, he's a cardio machine, and he likes to get in and paw jab when you're tired, and and body shot. So, now that his game plan's kind of known, I think it's going to be all the more easier for George to
implement his own game plan.
Exactly, stifle any offense. And
Lyle, who do you got on this one?
I definitely have GSP as well.
Heavy favorite.
Yeah. I mean, we'd be stupid not to go GSP.
You can't not go GSP. I think it's going to be a good fight. I don't know. I've been watching recently, and just because before a lot of this, I just wasn't the biggest Nick Diaz fan. And over the last year, I've been starting to watch a bunch more stuff, and I'm starting to like him more and more. But yeah, I mean, you can't deny that George is just going to control the pace. He's going to put it where he wants to put it. And he's going to hold that strap at the end.
Moving on, a fight that kind of got switched up a little bit, but I think it's the true battle of the number one contender, Johnny Hendricks versus Carlos Condit. Now, seeing Carlos Condit versus Rory McDonald would have been amazing, because I think Rory would have finished him, and Rory is a future champ. Is the future welterweight champ or the future middleweight champ, wherever he decides to go. I think Rory is, and that's unfortunate because I was cheering for BJ last time, but I kind of have to cheer for Rory now because he looks like the best. But anyways, Johnny Hendricks taking on Carlos Condit. Well, we know Condit has to watch out for the H bomb, but
it's like, I agree with you. It's a better number one contender fight. That being said, I do agree. I really did want to see the other fight much more. The rematch, see if Rory can get his vengeance in and all that. That being said, I think that this will be one good round of fighting, and then minute and a half into the second round, oh, Johnny's going to land one of those punches sooner than later.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like Condit that much.
I think we're going to see a new Johnny Hendricks in this ring. The last fight, Johnny looked noticeably in better shape, did he not?
He looked in a lot better shape.
He is starting to work with Mike Dolce. Now this is a second camp going into with Mike Dolce. I think Hendricks is just going to look even better. And look what happened in last fight. I think it's going to be a little bit of the same, but at the same time, Condit hasn't had a 15-minute fight since knocking out Dong Young Kim back in July of 2011, and man, was that a beautiful fight. I think Condit's going to be a lot quicker. He's going to be a lot more aggressive because he doesn't have to worry about an extra 10 minutes. And he's going to be right off the go looking for a kill. And I think this is going to be the fight of the night. I think it's going to be extremely exciting.
I'd have to disagree. I'm starting to look at Condit with he's a Machida fighter now. He's every once in a while he'll score a knockout maybe if the guy lowers his hands for long enough. But other than that, you're just going to see a guy point striking, and it'll be a boring fight of Condit running around. See,
I view him as sort of a more of a tactician, sort of like George's. He's come to that level where he's really, really refining his skills and getting up there, with his skills. And I think he's fighting smart. Like when he fought Nick Diaz. Yeah, okay, it was a little boring, but he fought smart and tactically. I agree. He fights smart, but I think he fights overcautious. I think that, I don't know. I don't think he fights overcautious. I'm starting to get wary of the fighters that are doing more evasive striking. Like I don't know. You watch his fights. I've been watching a few of them recently again to get it all hyped up and everything, and it's just like I was saying, he doesn't throw a lot of power shots. He doesn't seem like he tries to knock people out a whole lot until the people drop their hands, and and then he'll throw one or two. But other than that, literally, you watch his kicks, his leg kicks, his body shots. How often does he actually put any power into anything? He doesn't really do it.
Can I interrupt? I believe we had a big argument a few months ago about a similar fighter who does the same sort of style, but you were on... No, you were on Frankie Edgar's
Which
style.
One?
Yeah, I'm on Frankie Edgar's side because he goes in there and he'll because he goes in there and he'll slam people and he'll go in and he'll land a bunch of combinations and this and that. And Carlos Condit will keep his distance and touch you in the stomach a couple times with his leg and then run away.
All right. They're both point fighters, Lionel. I know what Frankie is a little bit more of a funner fighter to watch because he's always the underdog. But Condit, I might have to go with Condit on this one because I don't see him getting knocked out in the first minute. And other than that, Hendricks doesn't look like, when he fought Josh Koscheck, he couldn't knock out Koscheck, and Koscheck looked to, I thought Koscheck won that fight. And unfortunately, the judges did not. And if you look at all his fights, he either knocks you out in a minute or he goes to a decision and it's a split decision. It's exactly it. TJ Wattberg, TKO punch. Matt Pierce, decision split. John Fitch, KO punch. Josh Koscheck, decision split. Martin Kamen, KO.
Yeah.
All right, so it's one, we see a trend, and two, it's either he goes to decision and it's barely squeaks out a win, or he knocks him out, and I don't think he's going to be able to knock out Condit. He could decide to use his wrestling. He's supposed to be this superior wrestler that we've never seen step in the ring, which would be really exciting. But
yeah, I remember them hyping that part of his game up when he first started making a scene in the UFC. He was like, "Oh, he's really good wrestling," and then you just started seeing him fucking winging rights everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So who do you got, Grant?
You know what? I think tactician prevails. I think Carlos Condit, his wealth of experience inside the octagon and abroad will definitely pay off. I think he's, too smart to fall into his power hand. I think Carlos Condit's going to fight the smart fight and pull out a victory. It might not be in devastating fashion, but he'll definitely get the nod for sure.
I'm saying Condit knocks out Hendricks, and I'm going against a Dolce fighter, so I'm strong on this one. Condit also just losing the welterweight championship. I think he's going to be a little hungry.
Come back with some fire.
Fair enough.
Lau?
I already put my 2 bits in. I already said Hendricks will get the knockout second round.
All right. Ellenberger, Mark Quart. This fight's a little bit more fair than Ellenberger Hendricks is. And Marquardt, I have a feeling Marquardt's not going to make weight. This is a big 170er. He's coming in short notice fight. I don't think he's making weight.
You know what? I think he is. He has to.
His last couple fights were there.
He's walking a fucking thin line.
Yeah, if he doesn't win this, he gets cut. But
and you better show up on time, in shape, and ready to fight.
And not and not with too much testosterone.
Sound like Nate Marquardt's dad.
Yeah.
This is what's happening in practice today. Show up on time.
You kind of sound like Bubbles.
Yeah, getting ready to wrestle his son. Come here, Nate. Sound like a pirate.
Ellenberger, a very exciting fighter to watch. Ellenberger looks like, Marquardt's maybe not going to be able to boss him around on the ground. Striking wise, Marquardt very good at striking, but Ellenberger is the new fresh fighter. And I think Marquardt's going to win that. But I don't know. It depends what Marquardt shows up. The Marquardt that knocked out Tyrone Woodley, that's
please show up. Please show up.
Yeah, Tyrone Woodley is scary, and Nate Marquardt knocked him out beautifully. So I guess it all depends. Nate Marquardt's last fight was really, really bad. Ew. But we will see.
Yeah.
Chris Camuzzi versus Nick Ring.
Oh, yeah. Chris Camuzzi. He was a guy, if I'm not mistaken, that was he fought in the MFC in his earlier career. But I don't know. I think he's had some pretty mixed results inside the octagon, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he won. He was on the Ultimate Fighter, and I think he didn't win the Ultimate Fighter, but he definitely won his first couple fights outside of it or up and down. But he's another fighter that's on kind of the verge of got to make a nice appearance, or it could be on the chopping block. Taking on Nick Ring, Nick Ring's an exciting fighter. Sorry, I'm mistaken. Chris Camuzzi, since coming, he was in the Ultimate Fighter 11 finale, won a fight, lost a fight, won a fight on Shark Fights, and then lost a fight in the UFC, and he's won 3 straight in the UFC. One against Louise Kane, his last win. So 3 straight. Nick Ring, a good opponent for him, for sure. Lyle, let's see your 2 cents.
I like both fighters. Both have looked pretty good recently. I've said it before. I thought, I think it was his most recent victory, Nick Ring's most recent victory. He lost against Court McGee. But he's always a solid-looking fighter. He's got good stand-up. He's just he's good in every aspect of the game. I don't know. I think I would have to say that I'm going to go with Ring on this one. But Camuzzi definitely has a huge chance. This is going to be a good fight for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with this statement. I think Camuzzi's got his time coming. I've always enjoyed him as a fighter, win or lose. So I'm going to go with him for this one.
Nick Ring.
All right.
Educated decision.
Yes. And Mike Ritchie versus Colin Fletcher. And Mike Ritchie, I had the time to talk to a few months ago before his loss in the Ultimate Fighter. Not the nicest guy. Came to the interview about an hour late, and then but he is a very talented fighter. Unfortunately, he lost his last fight in the UFC to that Colin guy, I believe his name was. What was his name, Lyle? In the Ultimate Fighter, who won the Ultimate Fighter?
Oh, you gotta go and pull that on me right now.
Yeah,
I'm not paying attention enough.
Anyways, so Mike Ritchie trains hard, trains at TriStar, best friends with Rory McDonald. Back down at 155, because he was fighting at 170, and the guy was a very good wrestler and just kind of out-wrestled him, I guess. Very, very boring fight. But I think Mike Ritchie's going to be exciting this weekend. He's going to be at 155, his first fight in the octagon at 155, and it's going to feel like his real first fight. I'm gonna go with a Mike Ritchie knockout. Yeah.
All right. No, okay, yeah. You were referencing Colton Smith. That's why I didn't remember. Is because I tried really hard to forget that asshole won the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
If anyone forgets who Colton Smith is, and if you actually still watch the Ultimate Fighter at all, He's from the season with, of course, Ricci here. But he's the guy in the prelims to get into the house when they go to touch gloves at the beginning of the fight. He ducked under the glove touch to get a score at takedown and held the guy down for 3 rounds. It was literally, honestly, an embarrassment to see him actually even get into the house.
Best takedown ever. Woo!
Yeah, so I got to give it to Mike. He's a very skilled striker, purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's part of this up-and-coming TriStar group, and, us being so close to TriStar ourselves, we're only 3 hours away. I've met some people that train there, and there's this up-and-coming group of TriStar fighters, and every single one of them could be in the UFC and be very dangerous. Nick Ritchie's part of that, and Mike Ritchie, sorry. And I think he's going to definitely win his fight. Even though he lost in the Ultimate Fighter, he's definitely, out of those 2 fighters, he looked like he had a better future, and we're going to see it this weekend.
That his opponent, Colin Fletcher, he's a guy that did pretty well in the smashes, Tough to Smashes.
And came in second.
Yeah, and the guy, honestly, if you watch Tough to Smashes, I have no idea how he makes weight. He's a giant dude, but he's real tall and lanky, and he uses his length incredibly well, and he uses a lot of elbows and knees. He's ugly as sin, and he's a goofy guy. But you know what? I hate to. I usually go for the Canadian fighters. It's just what I do. And in this case, I might actually have to go against the Canadian fighter. I'm gonna have to go with Colin Fletcher. Comparing what I've seen in the show, I think that Ricci is an all-around fighter that's going to be a big name in years to come, but Colin Fletcher, I think, has come farther.
Greatly.
It's a toss-up for me, honestly. Heads Fletcher, tails Ricci.
Alrighty. Flip. Ding, ding,
ding, ding, ding. We'll go with it. Yeah, we'll go with it.
Moving on, Patrick Cote versus Bobby Volkler. Did I say his name right, Lyle?
Oh, Bobby Volker?
Yeah. We got Patrick Cote going down to 170. Now, this is a man who originally fought at 205, a little pudgy. 170 does look like a home for him, but he's a big lad.
Yeah, it's like another Mardcore, pretty much, eh?
Yeah.
It really is. It seems like that's the new trend is, hey, screw this. Anderson's still fighting for a few more years. Let's drop down to 170.
Yeah. Like we're not. Yeah, Anderson just signed a 10-fight deal. That's the farthest weight group I want to be from. Yeah, they'd rather go up to light heavyweight than fight Anderson Silva.
And that's why Anthony Johnson couldn't, quote unquote, make weight.
Yeah, who's fighting heavyweight now? Anthony Johnson.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's fighting Andrei Arlovsky at heavyweight.
Well, liver's about to shut down. Yeah. Might as well perform at my natural weight class.
This is a man that's never heard of nutrition. He just weighs in at 220 pounds and then cuts as much water as he can. Very safe there. Other notable fights on the card this weekend. Rick Story, kind of do or die for him. He coming off that brutal neck crank against Damian Maia. This is a guy who once headlined a card all the way down to Facebook prelim.
Yeah.
George Roop also on the Facebook prelim. TJ Dillashaw. Sorry, I've screwed up all 3 of their names. A fight that is going to be interesting that is on the preliminary card.
Preliminary?
Yeah. This is why you guys are here. Help me with my grammar.
The darkness.
Dan Miller versus Jordan Mean. This one's going to be actually a very exciting fight. Dan Miller, BJJ black belt, older brother Jim Miller doesn't get a lot of credit for where credit's due, but Dan Miller, if you ever watch the fight where he fights Damian Maia has trouble with him on the ground. I shouldn't say trouble. Damian Maia had trouble submitting him on the ground, but he definitely looked better than Fitch did. And Jordan Mean, another very exciting fighter. Were we still on Patrick Cote?
We were, yeah.
All right,
didn't even get any predictions there.
Jumped around a little bit there.
All right. We'll go back.
I'm just going to jump ahead and just say I'm going to go with Cote on that fight just entirely because if he loses again, I mean, he might as well just hang up the gloves.
Yeah. Grant, you have to be the ultimate decider because Patrick Cote, not only have you met, but he's placed a medal around your neck.
Well, I got based on that, those events taking place alone. Cote obviously has the fight.
Okay.
Yeah. what has he been up to? Is this his first fight back in the UFC?
No,
or?
it'll be his third.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
against was it Kung?
Yeah, he lost to Kung Lee.
But then he beat Sakara. Yeah.
But he got knocked out to Sakara, and Sakara was like, okay, you're knocked out, so I'm going to punch you 13 times in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't see that fight. I'm just looking at the stats here.
Yeah, it was. He definitely, Conte definitely wasn't looking so hot being punched while trying to go for a single.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Fuck it. You're gonna win, buddy. Fucking go, Cote.
Yes, Patrick Cote. So this is going to be his first fight at 170. He was originally supposed to fight Alessio Sakara in a rematch for tonight, but Sakara backed out. So he was like, okay, well, I'm going to lose an extra 15 pounds and go fight at welterweight.
Sakara was quoted as to saying that he didn't want to fight because he didn't realize you can't punch people in the back of the head or knee a downed opponent.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you not know that?
Well, when you don't speak English, it makes it a little harder. Dan Miller. So let's go on to Dan Miller and Jordan Mein, because Dan Miller, UFC vet, Jordan Mein making his first fight in the UFC, fought in Strikeforce and was the headlining guy in the Score Fighting Series, which is a promotion here in Ontario that folded when Rogers, company that pays me the big bills, bought out the Score and was like, yeah, we don't really want an MMA promotion, and closed down the Score Fighting Series. So his contract became available. UFC picked him up. Very, very exciting fighter. Definitely going to be a household name in the future. Well, I got to go with Dan Miller, though.
Yeah.
I'm taking the jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. And Dan Miller's had a lot of problems off of the octagon. Outside of the octagon, he's had some family issues. I believe his daughter or son is a lot of health issues. That could affect him, mentally. Could make him a better fighter, or could make him, have carrying some baggage into the octagon.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's my 2 cents. Can we move on?
We're moving on.
Moving on. Trucking on.
John, Lyle, you say his name?
We're going to the next fight, or
Yeah.
we're moving on topics?
John Matadexi.
John Makdessi versus Darren Cruikshank.
We're going to name drop again. John Matadexi
Makdessi.
watched me triangle some poor guy in Fight Quest with you guys.
I shook his hand.
Yeah, I remember meeting him.
Yeah. So I have a little connection with him. You got a little connection with Patrick Cote. I got a little connection with this John guy.
Man, we could probably just call them up and
pretty much. We should probably hang out this weekend, I think.
I think so, yeah.
I was chilling with Frost that one time, so we're probably pretty tight.
I'll go quarter John.
I don't know if you guys saw my Facebook picture. I'm with Shogun. Pretty crazy, but more or less a regular occurrence.
Yeah, he's got him on speed dial. Imagine if we had Shogun on speed dial.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't put the fucking phone down. I'd be like, so, what you thinking about, Shogun? Stop phoning me.
Okay, where are we?
We are just moving topics. We're done with this.
John
guy.
Makdessi and Derek Cruikshank.
Yes, John. We got to go with John.
I got to go. Yeah, I'm going to go with John as well. Although Derek Cruikshank,
he's
amazing fighter coming out of the tough fight.
He's one of the fighters I was really impressed by.
He's got some stand-up that will put people the fuck down.
Yeah, but John is so much more better at stand-up. I was watching his training videos getting ready for this fight.
How are you going to say he's so much more better at stand-up? Did you even watch Darren Cruikshank?
No, it doesn't matter, but I watched John throw some crazy stuff. And he got that huge knockout, that spinning back fist knockout.
Yeah. No, yeah, honestly, go check out the series that Darren Cruikshank's in. Go check out some of the fights he had in the house. He was a very impressive fighter.
Yeah.
I don't
really
watch
was.
The Ultimate Fighter. You know what? I'm going to tell you guys right here. I don't think they're exciting fighters, but it's always either mismatched or there's always fighters in there that are terrible. There's a lot of fighters that are making it there that are very terrible.
You know what? Actually, I agree with you fully there. And there's always for every season, for the longest time, there's always been the red mohawked
asshole.
Bring me, bro, let's bang! Getting drunk and fucking fighting and throwing stupid shit around. And finally, for Ultimate Fighter series, this series, honestly, there's none of that shit. And honestly, all the fighters so far are actually fairly impressive. So I'm hoping this is a turnaround for this series. But if they're gonna start doing a fight every 2 weeks and by next year, I think Tough's going bye-bye.
Oh, probably.
Unless they have more Uriah Hall knockouts.
Yeah, really.
Bang! Sorry, Adam.
I hear, like, I just heard so many bad things about The Ultimate Fighter that it gives me a bad taste in my mouth, and I don't want to watch it. They cut Nick Denis from The Ultimate Fighter before
Really?
he made it onto the show, yeah. They cut John Jones for being too young, being in The Ultimate Fighter.
There's been a few different fighters that have, who,
Like,
when wasn't Nate Diaz, didn't he go 1 year and get cut, and then the next year go again, and next year that was in his weight class, went again and won the whole season?
Probably, yeah, sounds something like it. But, like, it's just shenanigans.
It's craziness.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the topic of discussion. Fallon Fox, the transgender MMA fighter, license is under review. She's 5-0 in MMA. And the reason why her license is under review is that she got her license in Florida, fought in California. So her license in Florida is good, but California didn't approve it and had it on kind of like on their shelves somewhere that they were going to look at later. And then she fought. And her last fight, she like brutally knocked out some girl. And the other girl, actually, if you look at two pictures of them and you said one of them was a man, you'd probably point at the other girl. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts on transgender fighter?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really know where to start with that whole issue. I thought it was an interesting issue, like which, where do they fight? Who do you let them? Who, what are the rules behind it? I honestly just thought, well, he was a he then, and now she's a she, so she can fight girls. But then,
Joanna Man style. It was an awesome movie.
The movie was awful. Great movie. No, but Mark again, you get another shout out there.
Yeah, woo, Mark.
But he actually on our Cobra Den wall there, he brought up some very interesting points that you really don't see being brought up by a lot of people on this subject, which is males naturally form denser muscles. Like, this is not like a over workout time, males on average
come with
like
me
a
if you
medical,
want to lift.
Yeah, exactly. This is actually like medically accurate. Like, if you're a female, your muscle density is not going to have that density that a male will. And there's little things like that will maybe technically give her a slight advantage over other women. So where do you put her?
Oh my fucking god, I got it. I just figured it out. This is gonna be the new fucking trend in MMA. It's not gonna be about cutting weight anymore. That's dumb. It's gonna be about clipping your nuts off and fucking getting in the women's league, man.
That's Frankie Edgar's next step.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what the deciding factor is gonna be? You know what the deciding factor is gonna be? Dude. Here's the deal, and this is where they'll figure out what category to lump you in. You have to fight Brett Rogers in a 3-round war, post-op, not pre-op. And if you win, you're in some kind of crazy like men's heavyweight division.
Yeah, you're gonna fight men.
Yeah.
If you lose, then yeah.
Yeah.
The big thing that I'm curious about is her hormones, right? So she has to take a whole bunch of estrogen, I believe, to to be a woman, to get those woman features. But
yeah, as part of the process, basically, apparently what you're supposed to be doing is you go through and they'll give you the other gender's hormones through treatment repeatedly, like just over and over and over again, before you can even get any of the your stuff taken out. And then after the fact, you have to continue that, so just to rebalance everything. And I believe, you do, after the surgery is complete, I do believe you have to stay on the medication and keep things going correctly.
I imagine. I mean, you're born with like a male set of something, and then like try and replace that halfway through life. You probably got to keep going through treatment because your body's still tricked out. It's like, fuck, I'm missing some stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck, I need some other stuff.
But it's the same thing. Like, if you ever, you always hear stories about, guys taking, like, some guy taking too much estrogen or something like that from, I don't know. I've had stories. I've had some stupid people and stupid friends in my time that would, like, get drunk at a party and think it'd be funny to take like some girl's birth control, like pop some of that.
I don't think that'll do anything.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But no, it's.
I thought you were gonna make a Fight Club reference, bitch tits. But.
Bitch tits. No, but you hear about guys taking estrogen and stuff, and then you do start developing things a little bit differently, and Yeah, I don't know. We're getting off topic though. So
one topic about the bone density and the whole muscle thing that I'm curious about, and I don't know if this is the certain situation, but coming back to the whole TRT program, when you're injecting yourself with a testosterone, an anabolic, your body's producing more testosterone, but also what that will do is stop. I forget the hormone. It's called cortisol, I believe.
Cortisol, yeah.
What the hormone's called. And that cortisol breaks down your protein in your bones, your muscles, and also carbohydrates and fat. So that's why bodybuilders go on this testosterone, because they don't want that breaking down their protein. That's why when you see someone who was on steroids, not on steroids, they get super skinny, and that's why they need to go on testosterone replacement therapy, because their body's not producing it. So now this is the fighter. She's on testosterone. I don't know how this works. Now she's on estrogen, and so does that cortisone level skyrocket?
Do they neutralize each other somewhat? Like, what happens?
Like, because her body would still naturally produce testosterone, but now the cortisol has nothing to fight against, so it's just probably winning.
I think over time you probably wouldn't be producing testosterone.
This is Dr. PJ here, so I'm just curious.
Back to Dr. Travis.
Well, I guess if you don't have testicles,
Dr. Travis over here is going to make a point and saying, yeah, if you don't have testicles, I don't see
that's where the testosterone's made, is the testes, and it's clear from her weigh-in photos that she does not have testicles. So,
okay, I didn't see any weigh-in photos.
Yeah.
I was gonna do
it's scary because you're looking and you're
honestly,
just like,
all right,
yeah.
Where were these things?
It's coming from a straight guy's perspective. If I didn't know, I would.
She's a good-looking girl.
Yeah, she looks jacked. She kind of she's not as jacked as Cyborg, which is fucking scary.
Maybe instead of making her fight, Brett Rogers, you just fight Cyborg.
Maybe that's as close as she's gonna get to fighting a man.
Why don't you just put her in? Like, I think the best thing you can do at this point in time, unless women in MMA really have a problem with it, which most of them don't seem like they do, place her in that. But because she's got this strange little medical whatever exception.
It's like a loophole, some kind of crazy thing.
I don't know. Put her through like your testosterone to testosterone.
Mm-hmm.
Testing, and make sure that she stays within, women's average levels.
Yeah,
and then that's the best you can do. Like, you can't.
There's only so many alternatives.
If she doesn't have balls anymore, she can't be fighting men that are producing men amount of testosterone.
So this is the thing though. This is her 5th fight, and we're not. This is when we started talking about it. It's because she just brutally knocked out someone. So now we have someone's safety in jeopardy, right? And the sport's got to worry about its safety first. So she's fighting other 145 women, and the women agree, but then they get fucking they don't know how strong she's gonna feel until they get in there.
I don't know how dense that muscle is.
Yeah, and then she's punching you in the face, and you're like, holy shit, I should have done this.
But who are these women training with already?
I don't know.
Mostly men.
I guess so, but it's still completely different.
It is still different, but I don't know. I've watched, you watched the interview, and they brought it up with real quick, I think, with Rhonda, and then there's one with like that cat. What's your face? That's fight.
Kat Ziegler.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's her last name, but yeah, it was kind of pretty. She's fighting Miesha Tate.
Who's
6-0, I think. She is.
And like, so far, everything I've heard out of the bigger name female fighters in the sport, none of them
give 2 shits.
None of them give 2 shits.
Well, because they're in the UFC, and the UFC's never gonna stoop so low and be a fucking circus and bring in transgenders and bring in Brett Rogers.
Don't say stupid shit like that, though.
What do you mean?
You're not making something a circus by bringing in transgenders.
Oh my god! If it's exactly, MMA promotions are fucking hyping it as he/she versus Deborah.
The UFC won't do that, but if the UFC can sign her, I guarantee you they will.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing.
They don't have a 145 division, but
there's not even a fucking talent pool for a specific category for said fighter. There's like, how many transgender MMA fighters are there out there? Fuck, we just got the women's division in the UFC.
And now it's already got
now introducing.
Yeah. I don't think the UFC would ever sign her. I don't think, it's too many it's too many, what's the word I'm looking for? Fences or... Yeah, it's too many shit in the way, too many headaches.
I'm sure
what Dana White has to fucking deal with, and that's fucking illegal.
It's fucking illegal. I'm sure once the legal parameters are defined of where she actually fits, then things will become more clear where she belongs. And based on that, maybe as soon as she's like, all right, you're a woman and you should be fighting in a woman's division. I think the UFC would have no problem taking her on if her performances are,
Okay.
indicating that they should.
Yeah, man.
I don't think she
100%.
should I don't think she should have to fight men per se, but it is kind of a touchy subject. This has happened in basketball and other sports like that. That's different. It's different in those sports. You're not, you're playing a team sport. You're not getting inside of a cage fighting a man. It is kind of it is a little sideshow. That's what I think.
But she's more a woman than she is a man now, and that's the only thing that's going to be left.
About that.
I am not an animal. I am a man.
She's more cyborg than she is a man, but
Cyborg's more of a man than she is.
All right, let's just do it. So she's 5-0. Let's see her fight Cyborg.
I'm into
All right.
it.
That's
I'm
just
into
cool.
it.
Let's do this.
You'll
All right.
sign that shit. Man versus man. For the women's featherweight championship.
Pre-man
Winner
versus
wins.
post-man.
Winner fights Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you Ronda armbars both of them, in
yeah.
my opinion. Speaking of freak shows, MFC signed today a brother versus brother fight. And people are excited about this, and I'm immediately thinking, this is the stupidest thing in the world. This is just tainting, you're advertising a fight from brother versus brother. It looks like, this might be on, a DVD for bum fights.
Sweet bonus material.
Yeah.
This is two guys' pro debuts.
I don't know. You know what, though?
They live together.
Yeah, hey, maybe they're just that cool with it. You know what? I grew up with, my little brother, who's only 22 months younger than me, for fucking 18 years, and we got in plenty of fist fights, and at the end of the day, we were always good buds.
Yeah.
We always got along. You know what happened in the ring or when we were going at it happened, and we moved on. And you know what? Still great friends to this day. And
I hope the name of the card is something along the lines of, fuck you, Josh Koscheck and John Fitch.
Yeah, because they wouldn't fight because they're teammates. And,
Yeah.
I understand, that they're fighting, but this is what the owner/president of Maximum Fighting Championship said. His name is Mark Pavlich. He said, absolutely, undeniably, one of the craziest, most anticipated fights in MFC history. Come on. Anticipated fight. He's hyping that it's a brother versus brother, and that's fucking stupid.
It'll be a good fight because it's brother versus brother.
yeah.
And two will go to war.
No.
Oh, man, if it was me fighting my brother, I would just pound the piss out of him.
I'm sure this isn't the first time they fight each other, but it's stupid that this is how they're making their pro debut. It's stupid that they're fighting each other. I get that they're doing for a paycheck, but it's a circus. It's a sideshow, and
it's not about the sport anymore.
the clown is going to be a clown is going to be a referee, and that transgender Fallon Fox is going to be the ring girl.
Ooh.
Too far,
Man, I feel like
PJ's bad fight card.
PJ's nickname on the podcast.
Yeah, what's PJ's new nickname on the podcast going to be?
PJ losing fans.
I think I'm not against Fallon Fox fighting 100%. Maybe I should have clarified this. I don't care.
Clear the air here.
I think whoever she fights should definitely know beforehand.
Yeah. There's got to be some kind of
An email sent.
Fine print. Yeah, fine print. By the way, your competitor was once a man.
Was once a man.
Yeah. It was,
the story even got on TMZ. There's a before and after picture of Fallon Fox and.
Dude,
what did it look like
name.
before? Or what did she look like before? Sorry.
Now
who looks like the bad guy?
Yeah, she looked like a man. He had a necklace, so that was probably the first indication.
But was he built? Was it like a definitive masculine figure? Or?
No, he looks like a type of guy that would sell you a taco.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That didn't narrow it down for me.
Yeah.
I think he's Hispanic.
Damn it.
Jesus.
Can you get through one line? Damn
Christ.
Look it up. Fallon Fox before and after.
All right, well, I'll just put that into my search engine here.
Let me Google what someone looks like when they sell tacos.
But yeah, what's a taco? We're gonna, folks, for the fine folks out there, we're just taking a break from the MMA world for a second to find out what exactly a taco vendor looks like.
I'm gonna do a quick disclaimer.
Lyle's gonna get down to all the legal nit and grit
I
here.
would just like to say that every one individual's point of view does not actually represent the Cobra Den itself in its entirety.
Nice. All right, so here's the closest thing I got. Is this what you were thinking of, PJ?
That actually surprisingly does look like Fallon Fox before.
I'm just that good.
This is her after,
Sorry
Grant.
about that,
Yeah. Nobody out there can see us right
Yeah.
now, but we've just got retarded images of
This
taco
is
vendors
what she
up.
looks like at weigh-ins now.
Just do if you're curious as to what we're looking at, just honestly just do a Google search of Fallon Fox and
Type in taco vendor.
Taco, yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh wow!
Son
Hold
of a
on.
bitch.
So, geez, she got a what was that? Like, some kind of breast job there?
I don't know, Grant.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry.
Hey guys, as part of taking estrogen, you actually do start to grow boobs.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there's the before. See, taco.
What? See, now that looks like someone that would eat at a taco place, not so much to sell them.
Okay.
But in the right-hand side of the picture, he's obviously completely changed professions. Fuck tacos, I'm fighting now.
Well, and it looks
yeah,
like he
really.
just put like dreadlocks in and is giving thumbs up and MMA gloves.
Whatever. You know what? Long story short, go for it. Go for it, lady. If it makes you feel good, do it.
Just, I would like the people that she's fighting to at least know beforehand.
Yeah, this guy.
She may or may not have once had a penis.
Yeah. She might be a little stronger than you, and
You're right, though, in the picture, you can't even see, like, a little nub of anything that might have once existed. There's, like, no little, just nothing poking out at you. Which is good, I guess.
We only waited till 6 episodes to show our true selves.
Yeah. Welcome to the Cobra Den, ladies and gentlemen. We're here now.
Maybe this is the
You
time
can't do
to-
it on your first date, though.
Yeah,
right?
I know. I guess so. Yeah.
Well, that's how you lure him in.
All right, let's wrap it up, lads. Thank you for listening to episode 6 of the Cobra Den. We might even have a contest up, so check out our Facebook page. I don't know yet.
Details are going
Big
to
ol'
work out
sexy
there.
Details are getting worked out.
Contest. You keep sharing our page, and we'll make sure that. Listen, you share our page a whole bunch, and I'll make sure you win that contest.
Yes.
Yeah, we just breached, 400 likes, guys?
Yeah, woo woo.
Yeah,
411.
thank you so much,
Yeah.
guys. Feeling good
Means
about
a
that.
lot, boys.
Check
And
us
girls.
out on Twitter. We only have 20 Twitter followers at the Cobra Den
Fucking Twitter.
on Twitter.
I forgot we even had a Twitter.
Yeah, website, thecobradenpodcast.com. Episodes will be up there. We also have an Amazon link. And check us out on YouTube. We're everywhere. We're taking over the world. We're not on Vivo yet, but we'll do that.
We'll do that, too. Fuck yeah, we'll get Vivo.
Fuck it, let's go Google Plus.
Why-
Let's bring that shit back.
Well, let's start getting video before we do Vivo. When are we gonna do video?
I don't know. When are we going to get
We
money?
shouldn't be asking ourselves this. We should be talking about it off microphone
Yeah.
and then telling
Oh,
people.
We're not telling you on the microphone.
I'm sorry.
what
I've
our
already
business
maxed out a
plan-
credit card for this podcast.
Oh, clearly you should open up another one. Then.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
so much for logging in, guys.
Peace.